This is Saltburn by the Sea, a beautiful seaside town in the northeast coast of England. Known for its long sandy beach, clifftop heritage coast walks and wooded valley parks, they attract visitors, surfers and other outdoor enthusiasts from far and wide. Saltburn has two sheltered wooded valleys extending inland from the coast. The Saltburn Gill Valley contains a nature reserve managed by the Tees Valley Wildlife Trust and is a site of special scientific interest for its ancient deciduous woodland. Its clear waters, running from the foothills of the North Yorkshire moors, merging eventually with Skelton Beck just before it flows out over the designated bathing water beach at Saltburn. These and other attractions are an integral part of the town's character and has become a cornerstone of its economy. This is especially true since the closure in the 1960s of the nearby ironstone mines, which were, in the previous century, a large feature of the local economy. Discharges from time to time of contaminated water from these mines have been known in the local streams for many years. This one, for instance, discharging into Saltburn Gill from a 19th century borehole, has been known since around the 1980s and discolours a 20 to 30 metre section of the stream in a generally inaccessible part of the valley. The stream quickly returning to its clear state through the processes of iron precipitation and dilution, to the extent that it has little or no noticeable adverse effect 20 metres downstream of its discharge point. However, on the 18th of May 1999, a mine water breakout was to devastate Saltburn Gill. A major new upwelling of incredibly contaminated water from shallow ironstone mine workings occurred about 2 kilometres inland from the beach. The contamination consists primarily of dissolved iron in an oxygen-poor groundwater. Carbon dioxide is seen here bubbling to the surface, thought partly due to the intense pressures and chemical reactions underground, and partly due to the action of anoxic iron-loving bacteria within the water. Tests have also shown this mine water to contain an incredibly high concentration of around 1 gram of dissolved iron per litre. As this contaminated water flows over the land surface, the dissolved iron reacts with oxygen in the atmosphere and forms an intensely orange iron hydroxide, or rust, termed ochre. This ochre forms an acidic sludge within which little seems to be able to survive. Eventually, the mine water finds its way into a small unnamed tributary of Saltburn Gill. Here it mixes with the clean, well-oxygenated water of the stream, driving the formation of more ochre, increasing the acidity and removing the oxygen needed to support life. Here we see the point at which the contaminated tributary joins the main Saltburn Gill. It is the beginning of the end of significant life in the gill downstream of here. At this point, you may be thinking that someone must be responsible for this. Surely pollution on this scale cannot be allowed to continue without consequence. This would be the situation if the mine workings causing this pollution were abandoned after the year 2000, but as the mines responsible were abandoned decades before this is not the case. The Environment Agency, who are the guardians of the rivers and streams in England, is charged with taking action under the Water Resources Act against anyone who causes or knowingly permits poisonous or polluting matter or any solid waste matter to enter any controlled watercourse. It would seem a straightforward matter then. Normally, the Environment Agency would use its powers to recover any clean-up costs incurred from those responsible for the pollution under the polluter pays principle. However, under the same Act, an exemption from responsibility currently exists for mines abandoned before 2000, such that a person shall not be guilty by reason of his permitting water from an abandoned mine to enter controlled waters. The upshot of this legislative sidestep is that no one has a responsibility for, or is given the funding to tackle the serious pollution now blighting Saltburn Gill. The Environment Agency, with its hands effectively tied, were unable to lead on any remediation of the pollution and could do little more than monitor the situation and explain to people the constraints placed upon them by the law. This situation was one that many residents of Saltburn were not prepared to accept, and have taken upon themselves the challenge of ridding the stream and the town of this environmental disaster. It's scenes such as these that brought about the formation in 2005 of the Saltburn Gill Action Group to discover the reasons for this devastation of their stream, and by understanding this, to devise the most appropriate way of cleaning up their environment. It's grown to become a strong, community-led group consisting of concerned local people who care strongly about Saltburn Gill and its environment. Their logo was chosen following a competition run at the Saltburn Primary School and symbolises its commitment to local community participation. The group works in partnership with a number of organisations, and especially with the Environment Agency, Teesside University, Saltburn Mask and Newmask Parish Council, Tees Valley Wildlife Trust and Redcar and Cleveland Council. More recently, the Coal Authority has also become active in assisting the group where it can. This organisation is the acknowledged leader in the science of mine water treatment in the UK and has a remit of preventing and remediating mine water pollution. However, it is currently permitted to fund projects dealing with pollution from coal mining only, and is prevented by the current legislation from tackling any non-coal mining issues from its own budget. Saltburn Gill Action Group has been extraordinarily successful in attracting funding from a variety of sources, including the Landfill Tax Fund, local parish council and the Environment Agency, which allowed a scoping study to be produced by the environmental engineering consultants ENTEC. Following this and much larger donations, significantly again from the Environment Agency and from the Government Department DEFRA, the group, working in partnership with the Environment Agency, were able to commission further work undertaken by ENTEC, the Coal Authority and Newcastle University, among others. This includes the sinking of 3 boreholes to enable a pumping test to be carried out at the end of 2009. This work has allowed the production of a variety of reports, including a detailed hydrogeological study of the Cleveland ironstone mining area, a pilot plant study to assess the treatability of the mine water, and perhaps most importantly, a detailed feasibility study. This feasibility study contains designs for the siting, construction and costing of appropriate treatment options to remove the pollution from the gill, as well as an ecological and geo-environmental desk study. As well as the reports, the Saltburn Gill Action Group have created and installed information boards, informing both residents and visitors to Saltburn the reason why this stream is so polluted and the work that is being done to address it. The work of the group has been recognised widely as an excellent example of partnership working between the community and government agencies, and has been awarded the Redcar and Cleveland Voluntary Development Agency's Partnership Award. It is perhaps an early example of the idea of the big society in action. So where does this leave us? Well, although we now know how to fix this environmental blight, the means to implement this probably lies outside the power of a community action group. It's been calculated that the cost of such a treatment plant is as little as £3.5 million over the next 25 years. This is a great deal of money, especially in the current economic climate. But a recent cost-benefit analysis undertaken by RPA has shown that the benefits to the town to the tune of £10.5 million can be realised over the same period. It's a strongly held belief of the Saltburn Gill Action Group that the kind of catastrophic pollution we see here cannot be allowed to continue to blight our town, and that the current legislative no man's land in respect to such pollution must not be allowed to continue. We see that the only realistic way forward to resolve this problem is to urge a change in the current legislation and to permit the most appropriate group in the country, the Coal Authority, to be given the same powers and duties to deal with the devastating effects of the non-coal mining pollution as they have with those from coal mining. I hope that you found this short film interesting and informative, and that you will support the aims of the Saltburn Gill Action Group to remove this pollution from our stream, enabling Saltburn to regain the full potential of its beautiful surroundings.